Hello, and welcome to another episode of the On My Mind podcast. I am your host, Remy Keene. It's wonderful to be with you today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to better your day. And on this podcast, we know what's on our mind impacts our day for either good or bad. So let's keep good things on our mind. And today we're talking about a few ways that you can love those you disagree with, how to care about people that you have disagreements with, how to practice humility in times of disagreement. And it's okay to disagree. That's what I want to say first and foremost. It's totally okay to disagree with people. Life is full of things that you're going to disagree with other people on, and that's perfectly fine. You're going to be on one side of an argument or another, and that's perfectly fine. But everywhere we turn, there's an opportunity for us to take offense and take issue with things that we can really just practice humility in, and it's it's okay for us to not argue every single topic. It's okay for us to just take a step back and live in peace. Live in peace. We don't have to call everybody out and constantly be at everyone's throat when we disagree with them. We can just take a step back and say, I disagree with that, but it's okay. We don't have to agree. Of course, if we care about people, we'll want to let them know that we disagree and the whys behind it. But overall, we should seek for the Lord, for God to correct that person. And maybe we don't always have the avenue available to us to correct that person. So that's kind of what I want to get into and talk about, is like, how can we show love to people? Ultimately, I want to bring up first Corinthians 13. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it's not self-seeking, is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. It always protects, trusts, hopes, and always preserves. So ultimately, reading that, we can kind of break it down and get to some core issues, and I'm going to share a few more Bible passages, but ultimately think about how you can apply this knowledge to your life. How can I take back what I can take out of this and apply it to how I disagree with people? So please accept that challenge and learn to apply it to how you disagree with the next person you disagree with. Literally, I could probably put this to work tomorrow because I'll have a disagreement with someone, and I hope you can too. I hope you can find a way that you can apply this to your life. So, number one, listen to people. We know that everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to get angry, right? So if we're quick to listen and slow to speak, that means we listen to people. We cannot show love to people without hearing them out. When you listen to somebody, you're going to understand their motives. You're going to understand what they actually want. Sometimes when you realize that their motive is similar to your motive, maybe they're just going at it in a different and incorrect way, or maybe they're going after the same goal that you have, but just in a different way. By listening to that person, you would discover that. If you chose not to listen to that person, then you would never discover their motives and understand. We need to understand the person, not to argue with them, not to wait for our turn to talk and wait for our turn to just shut them down, right? We need to stop jumping to the conclusion and start listening, fully understanding, and really just wanting to gain the perspective of that other person. This also kind of talks about being teachable. If we are being teachable and we don't just immediately assume we know everything, then we may be able to enter a situation, if it's something we can learn from, if it's something we can gain knowledge from, then we can enter that situation and realize that, God, I'm coming into this with, an open heart, and God, if I'm wrong, help me. If I'm right, help me. Either way, help me. We should look for things that we have in common with that person. If we listen to them and we hear them out, we're going to realize, oh, I have some stuff in common with this person that I want to really flesh out. I want to let them know that I care about the same things they care about. I want to let them know that I feel passionately, but they also feel passionately, and I can really use that to gain some ground in this relationship with this person. Whether it's a person that you really care about or it's a person that you just met, having a disagreement with them and listening to them is going to show them that you love them, that you don't hate them, that you want what's best for the situation, whatever you're disagreeing about. You will communicate that you actually care in a way that is not communicated as easily by listening to this person. So I hope it makes an impact already on you, that you need to listen the next time that someone disagrees with you. Listen to why they are, or where they are coming from, and why they are taking the action they're taking, or why they are doing what they're doing. So next, I want to talk about being humbled, practicing humility in the situation. So the next time you argue with someone, the next time you have a disagreement, be humble. Do not be selfish. Don't practice conceit, but in humility, use that humility to show that there's a willingness to acknowledge that you aren't always right. It kind of touches back on what we said for listening. When you go in and you listen to somebody, you are being willing to learn. You're going in with the example that, hey, I might not have all of this together. I might not be right. But when I enter it and I'm practicing that humility, it's like you're allowing yourself to be corrected if you're wrong. And if you pray that prayer, like, God, help me if I'm wrong, help me know that. God, if I'm right, help me know that. If you go into that situation, you're like, I'm right, they're wrong, you're not gonna be fruitful within that conversation. You're not gonna be fruitful within that idea that's going to come out. You might know that you're 100% right, but then when you go into it and you know that, and you're just like, oh, I'm not going to learn from this, I'm not going to practice humility, I'm just going to show this person that I'm right and they're wrong. Well, then you basically are like being someone who's unteachable. And if you're unteachable, that's not going to be beneficial to you. There's a scripture that talks about basically if you want to teach a mocker, you shouldn't even teach them anything. You should teach someone who's wise, because the wise accept instruction, and the mocker will just hate you if you correct them. So ultimately, you want to be that wise person, right? You want to be the wise person that accepts instruction, that accepts a criticism, and the criticism might be wrong. But open your heart, let God direct you through what this person might have to say, even if they're wrong. God, how can I direct my steps in a way that would be more humble, and more and practice humility towards this person, even if I am right? God, help me to show this person that I care about them, that I'm not mocking them, and that I'm basically willing to understand where this person is coming from, and help me to really show them that I care about where they're coming from. Because I'm not here to prove them wrong. I'm not here to just stomp on their ideals. I'm here to really benefit and prosper and show them I love them and I care about them, even though I disagree with them. Next, be broken with the brokenhearted. If you need to lament, if you need to if you don't fully understand the situation or what someone's going through, take the time to do that. Sometimes when we enter a situation and someone is hurting, or someone is feeling like they aren't getting through this situation the right way, they might lash out towards you and disagree with you on several things. But ultimately, the root of it is that they're hurting and they need something, and it's going to feel uncomfortable, and it's going to feel like you're doing things the wrong way, or like you can't help them. But the good news is you have the ability to hurt with them, that you can lament with them, that you can basically be the person that's there for them. And this is something I need to learn too, because if you just are like, oh, get over it, you don't have to worry about that. Well, that's not very, very like gentle. That's not very practicing the fruit of the Spirit. That's not very loving. That's not very caring to the person. I just imagine myself at times where one of my friends like went through a loss, and I am not very good at handling that sort of a time. So I just thought, I'm going to give them their space. And they actually took that as hurtful against, that I was basically not giving them the support that they needed, and that I needed to be there instead of give them space. And I wish I would have navigated that better, because I feel like I still let that person down, and I didn't want to do that. But ultimately, I have a scripture I wanted to share about this. Is also the Lord is close to the broken-hearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. So if we want to be Christ-like in that, we get to be close to the brokenhearted. We get to lament, but also don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. Don't let anything be torn down by the situation. Build them up. Build them up in Jesus. Don't let that be an opportunity where Satan comes and convinces you that God did the person wrong, or that God is the one to blame, because ultimately he's not. He's there for you, though. God's there for you through that whole situation, and that person. So we can be there for that person through that, and see that the reason they're wanting to disagree with everything I say is that ultimately they might have a broken heart and need someone to just be with them and pray for them. So think about these things the next time you get into this situation. And lastly, pray. Prayer helps you get through stuff. And ultimately, I probably said pray in each one of these topics so far, but that's why I save the best for last, is because if you pray about the situation you're going through and you talk to God and you love your enemy, even though they're against you, even though they're, against whatever topic you're dealing with, you should love that person all the way through it. Pray for those who persecute you. That God, your Father in heaven, may cause any unrighteousness to be out and only righteousness to prevail. That God may have his perfect will done in that situation. If you pray that, and you pray that over what you disagree with, and not my will, Lord, but your will, ultimately it's showing God that he's number one, that nobody else has a say, that God has the say, and that you want God's will to be done. If you communicate that, I don't think that other person, if they're of right mind, I don't think they're going to disagree with you. If you pray that over it, we need to just be sincere in our prayer before we enter that argument, and after we exit that argument, that God, you have the final say, right? Ultimately, I say that a lot, I noticed, but finally, what I want to say is that prayer will help you through all of these. So keep it in mind, keep it in your mind that we always need to approach it by listening to our friends. Listen to what they have to say. Be humble, practice humility, and understand where they're coming from by showing them that we care if they have a broken heart, that we care about their situation, and that what they might be going through in life is affecting them, and then pray through it and let God help you through it. I hope this podcast has been beneficial to you. If it has, share it with someone that you know can benefit too. But otherwise, have a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you for watching this episode of the On My Mind podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe so you're here the next time a video comes out. Also, watch this video now. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thank you.